My name is Daniel, and I am 47 years old. If someone had sat me down when I was 20 and told me where I would be standing today, I would have laughed. Not because my life is terrible, but because I believed I had time for everything. Time to fix mistakes, time to get serious, time to start caring later. Later always felt far away, now later is here, and I can clearly see the moments that quietly shaped everything. There aren't 5 dramatic disasters, no huge tragedies, just small decisions repeated for years. Those are the ones that change your life. If you're in your 20s reading this, I don't want to scare you. I want to save you. Because the price of these mistakes isn't paid immediately. It's paid slowly, with stress, regret, debt, health problems, and lost opportunities. Let me tell you the 5 that cost me the most. Mistake number 1. Treating your body like it has unlimited time. At 20, I felt indestructible. I ate whatever I wanted, slept whenever I could, ignored pain like it was nothing. I brushed my teeth quickly, sometimes not at all after late nights. Dentists felt optional. Back pain felt temporary. Fatigue felt normal. I thought real health problems happened to older people. By 35, my gums were bleeding. By 40, I needed expensive dental work I couldn't afford. Root canals, crowns, constant sensitivity. Do you know what's not covered by most insurance? Your past negligence. The money I've spent fixing my teeth could have been a down payment on a house. And it wasn't just teeth. My bad posture turned into chronic back pain. My late nights turned into constant exhaustion. My junk food habits turned into high blood pressure. Your body keeps a record. Every skipped meal, every ignored pain, every careless habit. And one day it presents you the bill. You don't have to be perfect, but take care now. Future you will beg you for it. Mistake number 2, using credit like free money. No one explains debt properly when you're young. They just offer you a card. Build your credit. Enjoy rewards. Pay later. So I did. Trips I couldn't afford. Clothes I didn't need. Gadgets I wanted right now. Minimum payments felt harmless. Until interest quietly multiplied everything. By 30, I was drowning. One card to pay another. Loans stacked on loans. Every paycheck already spent before it arrived. Debt doesn't just take money. It takes peace. It keeps you in jobs you hate because you can't risk leaving. It delays starting businesses. It ruins relationships. It turns small problems into panic attacks. At 42, I was still paying for dinners I barely remembered. If you must use credit, use it carefully. If you don't have the money now, think twice. Future, you will carry that weight. Mistake number 3, choosing a career for money or status instead of fit. At 20, I didn't know who I was, so I followed what sounded impressive. Finance, good salary, respect, stability. Everyone congratulated me. Inside, I was miserable. I stared at spreadsheets dreaming of being anywhere else. But I told myself, be grateful, work hard. It will feel better later. It didn't. Years passed. My skills locked me deeper into a life I didn't enjoy. Changing felt terrifying. Bills were higher. Lifestyle depended on my income. I was trapped by choices I made when I barely knew myself. By 40, I finally switched careers, but I started from the bottom again. While my friends were senior leaders, I was a beginner. I don't regret changing. I regret not listening earlier. Money can support happiness, but it cannot replace it. Choose a path you can live with for decades, not just one that sounds good at parties. Mistake number 4, ignoring financial basics. I thought saving was for later. I thought investing was for rich people. I thought budgeting was boring. So I spent what I earned. Every raise meant nicer things, not a safer future. When emergencies happened, I panicked. Car breakdowns, medical bills, job instability. I had no cushion. Everything became a crisis. If I had started saving even small amounts in my 20s, I would be calm today. Compound interest is quiet magic. It rewards early starters. It punishes procrastinators. 10 years makes a massive difference. But no one tells you because it doesn't feel urgent at 20. It becomes urgent at 40. Start small, but start now. Mistake number 5, staying in relationships that were wrong. This one cost me emotionally more than anything. I stayed where I wasn't respected, where communication was poor, where love felt like effort instead of safety. Why? Because starting over felt scary, because being alone felt worse, because I hoped people would change. Years passed. Arguments repeated. Resentment grew. By the time I left, I was exhausted and bitter. I lost precious years trying to fix what was never right. The wrong relationship doesn't just waste time. It changes you. It lowers your standards. It drains your energy. Choose people who bring peace, not constant struggle. What I wish I understood at 20, most life damage doesn't happen in one bad moment. It happens in daily neglect, in small, I'll fix it later decisions. Later is expensive. Later is painful. Later is limited. Your 20s aren't about having everything figured out. They're about building habits that shape everything. Brush your teeth properly, move your body, respect money, choose work carefully, value your peace. None of this feels dramatic, but all of it decides your future. I'm not unhappy with my life, but it could have been easier, healthier, calmer, richer, in money and peace. And that difference comes from the choices I didn't think mattered. If you're 20 right now, you're unbelievably powerful. Not because you know everything, but because time is on your side. Use it wisely. One day you'll wake up at 40 and realize the future you were waiting for is now your present. Make it something you're proud to live in. But writing these words is the easy part. Living them after the fact, that is where the real work begins. For a long time after my great reset at 40, I lived in a state of quiet penance. I paid my debts. I went to the dentist. I worked my lower-level job in logistics, a field I actually enjoyed despite the pay cut. I was stable, but I was stagnant. I had stopped digging the hole, but I hadn't started climbing out. I was just sitting at the bottom, dusting myself off. Then I met Ben. Ben was 23. He was the new hire in our dispatch department. He was bright, energetic, and a complete disaster. He reminded me so much of myself it actually hurt to look at him. I watched him for 3 weeks. I saw him chugging 3 energy drinks before noon. I heard him bragging about a sure-thing crypto investment while declining the company's 401k match because he needed the cash flow. I saw him taking calls from a girlfriend who seemed to only call to scream at him. I saw him wince when he ate anything cold. One rainy Tuesday, I found him in the break room. He was staring at his phone, looking like he'd been punched in the gut. "Rough day?" I asked, pouring my green tea, a habit I picked up after the high blood pressure diagnosis. "Transmission blew on my car," Ben mumbled. "Mechanic wants $2,000. I don't have it. Credit card. Maxed out. From the trip to Cabo last month." He put his head in his hands. "I'm so screwed, Dan. I'm going to have to ask my dad for money again, and he's going to kill me." I stood there. The old Daniel, the one who was ashamed of his past, would have offered a generic, "It'll get better, kid," and walked away. But I looked at Ben. I saw the panic in his eyes, the same panic I felt at 30 when my rent check bounced. "How much is the car worth?" I asked. He looked up, confused. "I don't know, maybe 4,000, if it runs." "And you have 0 savings?" "0. I pulled out a chair and sat down. "Ben," I said, "I'm going to tell you something, and you're going to hate it. But you need to hear it." He blinked. "Okay. You are poor. You are acting like you are rich, but you are poor. And until you admit that, you will always be scared." He bristled. "I make decent money. It doesn't matter what you make. It matters what you keep, and right now, you are bleeding out." That lunch break turned into a 2-hour conversation. I didn't lecture him from a place of superiority. I showed him my scars. I opened my banking app. I showed him the debt repayment line item that I was finally about to clear next month. I told him about the $12,000 I spent on my teeth because I didn't floss for a decade. I told him about the girl I dated for 6 years who made me feel small, and how I lost my 30s trying to please her. Ben listened. He didn't check his phone once. "So what do I do?" he asked. "The car is still dead." "We sell the car for parts or scrap," I said. "You take the bus for 3 months. It sucks. It's humiliating. But it stops the bleeding. You pay off the smallest card. You break up with the girl who makes you hate yourself. And you start brushing your damn teeth." He laughed, a dry, nervous sound. "The bus. Seriously? Seriousness is the only thing that gets you out of this hole, Ben." He took the bus. For 2 weeks, he came into work wet from the rain, grumpy and tired. But he also brought a packed lunch. He stopped buying the $6 coffees. And then something shifted, not just for him, for me. Helping Ben fix his life made me realize I had stopped building mine. I was so focused on not making mistakes that I had forgotten to take risks. I was safe, but I was boring. One Saturday, Ben called me. "Hey Dan, since I'm saving money on gas,
I found something in my grandpa's garage. You know engines, right? I used to, I said. It's an old Honda CB 750. Rusted to hell. Grandpa said I could have it if I haul it away. I was thinking, maybe we could fix it. I looked at my clean, quiet, empty apartment. My back didn't hurt today. My bills were paid. Pick you up? I was already reaching for my keys. Up in an hour, I said. That motorcycle became our church. Every Saturday we met in my rented garage. I taught Ben patience. He taught me enthusiasm. We stripped that bike down to the frame. There is a specific philosophy to restoring old machines. You can't rush a rusted bolt. If you force it, it snaps. You have to apply heat. You have to apply oil. You have to wait. Wiggle it. Wait again. It's like your death, I told Ben one afternoon, wrestling with a stuck caliper. You want it gone today, but if you rush, you use a payday loan and you snap the bolt. You make it worse. Steady pressure, Ben. Steady pressure. Yeah, Miyandi, he grunted, wiping grease on his forehead, but he was listening. 6 months in, he showed me his credit score. It had gone up 40 points. He had $500 in an emergency fund. It's not much, he said. It's everything, I corrected him. It's the difference between a crisis and an inconvenience. But Ben taught me, too. One evening, while sanding the fuel tank, he looked at me. You know, you talk about your ex a lot. I froze. I do not. You do. You talk about how bad it was, which means you're still in it, kinda, in your head. I put down the sandpaper. He was right. I had avoided dating for 5 years. I told myself I was focusing on myself, but really, I was hiding. I was terrified of making mistake number 5 again. You need to get back out there, man, Ben said. You're a catch. You got nice teeth now. I laughed. It was the first time I had really laughed about my dental trauma. Maybe, I said. Not maybe. My aunt is single. She's cool. She likes motorcycles. I'm giving her your number. Ben, no. Too late. She's expecting a text. I was terrified. My hands shook as I typed that message. I felt 20 again, but with the baggage of 47. But I sent it. We went for coffee. Her name was Sarah. She was 45. She had scars too. She had a divorce behind her. She had a career change. We didn't play games. We didn't try to impress each other with status. We talked about our mistakes. And for the first time, my mistakes didn't feel like shame. They felt like a map. They showed me where the landlines were, so I could guide us around them. The motorcycle was finished in the spring. It was beautiful. Midnight blue tank, chrome that gleamed, an engine that purred with a deep, throaty rumble. Ben sat on it. He looked different than the kid I met in the break room. He stood taller. His teeth were white. He had a, "You keep it," I said. He looked at me shocked. What? No, we built it together. You need a ride, and I looked at my phone where a text from Sarah was waiting. I have other things to build. I'm 47. My knees still click when I run. I will be renting my apartment for a while longer because I lost my prime earning years. I still have to be careful with sugar, but I am not a tragedy. I am a work in progress. I used to think that by 40, the cement was dry, that you were who you were, and that was it. I was wrong. We are not cement. We are wood. We can be sanded down. We can be refinished. We can be repurposed. Last week, Ben came into my office. I started my 401k, he said, 10%. I smiled. Good. And, he hesitated. There's a new intern, kid's 19, buying scratch-off tickets at lunch. I asked him if he wanted to help me change the oil on the bike this weekend. I felt a lump in my throat. The chain remained unbroken. If you are reading this, and you feel like you've ruined your life, if you were staring at a pile of debt, or a broken body, or an empty house, stop looking at the lost time. You cannot buy it back. Look at the time you have left. Look at the rusted bolt in front of you. Apply the oil. Apply the pressure. Be patient. My name is Daniel. I am 47 years old. I made 5 big mistakes, and because of them, I learned how to live. It is not too late for you. It wasn't for me. Brush your teeth. Pay the bill. Quit the job. Leave the jerk. Say hello to the stranger. Your second act is waiting. And trust me, it's the best part of the show.